A very good evening to all of you and welcome to this week's edition of the Future of Fashion Business in partnership with IIT, organized by your favorite number one place for the youth, Chokolaate, where it's all about you. Well, this webinar series, as you all know, is a place for fashion enthusiasts to gather, learn, get creative by learning only from the best in the industry. And just like that, we've only brought you the best of the best. Founder and creative director of Yasisuri Kiribandara Culture, US Exchange Alumni FI Mentor. And she's also the founder of CFT CSL Fashion College. We have a very esteemed individual here with us today, Ms. Yasisuri Kiribandara. A warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you for having me, Sandro.
It's a pleasure. The pleasure is all mine. Well, before we go forward, ma'am, we'd like to play a quick commercial by our partner, IIT. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our partner for this webinar series, IIT. Well, that being said, ma'am, it's once again a pleasure to have you here on board with us. And today we're going to be asking you, or rather I'm going to be asking you quite a few questions for you to exchange your experience, your years of experience in the field with all the youth listening to us today live on Facebook, sitting from the comfort of their homes and who knows where else around the world too. To start off, ma'am, I'd like to just ask you a little bit about you and also about your award-winning high-end fashion designer label. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, this was an idea that was conceived. Well, it kind of grew into what it was today, as does any business. But that was something that I always wanted to do ever since I was a student, or even before that, I wanted to run my own fashion business. But after I finished my studies, it was not immediately so because I didn't feel I was ready. So I did work in the garment industry for a while, worked with some of the, renowned exporters worldwide like Antel in New York. I worked with Gary Weber, Germany, which is one of the biggest brands. I worked with Maggie London, I worked with Nike, Reebok, so on and so forth. And this was all working for some of the most prestigious garment exporters in Sri Lanka. And once I garnered enough experience and I felt that there was something that I could offer, and I had something with me apart from the education also, which did initially help me set that foot. I launched my business and launched my first collection, which was a ready-to-wear collection at Colombo Fashion Week. And then unexpectedly and amazingly, I won the Gen Next Award that year. That was 2014. Soon afterwards, we moved into, and so it went on, so on and so forth. I've collaborated with some amazing people like Colombo Jewelry Stores for an exclusive collection somewhere down in 2014 for resort wear. I've created collections for them as well once. I've also worked with some other amazing people. And then somewhere down the line, I got the opportunity to represent my country in the US at GES, which is called the Global Entrepreneurship Summit, which is in 2016. That kind of opened a lot of doors to me and expanded my horizons, expanded the way I looked at business, expanded my connections. Then soon afterwards, again, I represented Sri Lanka again at this alumni ties Asian Summit, which was South and East Asia. That was held in Nepal, Kathmandu. Again, I met amazing people, had the opportunity to kind of really share with other entrepreneurs what we were doing out there. And my business always had been with an underlying idea of consciousness. So consciousness stems from being conscious of how you are creating your, although I didn't call it couture at that time because it was still ready to wear, it automatically became what it was today because yes, we do create limited ready wear ranges, but majority of our business is couture. And we have clients from all over who come and we get like this one-on-one experience where we create collections for them. Some of them have been with us for years. So it's awesome because we get to create something that is unique, that is environmentally conscious, that is handmade, and that is not produced in a large factory and without human connection. And that whole consciousness came, I think it was part of my journey with God. So that was also part of my spiritual journey. So today we have kind of expanded into a lot of areas, into bridals, into ready-wear. We are moving into accessories as well, little by little. And we work with a lot of people. Last 2 years have been a little bit difficult in terms of expanding the business because we had to make certain decisions to keep things afloat. But some of the decisions that I had made at the onset, where my business was concerned, because I was never a traditional business person who did things the traditional way. And thank God for that it always worked out for my own benefit. So it's been 7 years plus. We'll be going into 8 years this year. And I would say I'm nothing but grateful for the journey we have had so far.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I think, yes, so 8 years of not being the traditional person obviously gets you to be an award-winning high-end fashion designer label, no doubt about that. Well, I'm really glad to hear that story from you. But at the same time, now, when it comes to someone who, now, the very concept that you were talking about, consciousness, to be conscious of what you wear or what you give someone to wear in this whole industry, I think that is one of the core concepts that you bring forward, I believe. And as someone who thinks that deep into this concept, where did you start? Where did this chain of thought begin? What motivated you to sort of join the industry and become who you are today? Or rather, when did the Yasisuri Kiribandara person and the brand itself start climbing the ladder? Where was the beginning?
It happened right from the beginning, actually, because I was very lucky. I can't use the word lucky. I would say I was blessed by God for the fact that I gained that exposure. I gained that initial footing, and that because as soon as I won the award, there was this whole stream of media and interviews and TV and press and all this exposure that automatically came, which came free because of what I had won. And then opportunities to tie up with people, opportunities to tie up with companies, because they saw that there was something different that I had done. But what I would like to really talk about is the fact that, especially because we are promoting a college at this point, we're talking about higher education, right? So the fact that nobody had seen the 7 years before that, and the 7 years where I had gone through college, where I had studied, worked, like a crazy person from morning till night, no weekends. It's not like I don't have the weekends anymore either. I may still work hard, right? But it's that which brought me to that. So everybody saw Yasasuri, the Gen Next winner who won, and then suddenly, oh yeah, everybody's seeing her and all that. But nobody saw the person before that who went through all that she had to go through to
Who
come to
was
that
that
point.
person?
That person
What was the motivation?
was a person who knew that she had something to offer, but wasn't ready, was somebody who was in the making. I don't think you ever know you're 100% ready, because once you come to a goal, then it's the next goal, then it's the next goal, then it's the next goal. So at every point, you're breaking certain barriers for yourself. So as a kid, because I was a kid at that point, I knew I wanted to start the business. I had gone through some personal life setbacks. I had, lost a parent and so on and so forth. So I didn't know that I was capable, but I did work hard for it. And I didn't 100% believe in myself, but I still took the leap. I was still daring. I still kept persevering, because the first time when I even wanted to do Colombo Fashion Week, Ajay actually didn't like my first collection, so he rejected my first collection. So I went back, and I redid another collection, and I went back again. I got another appointment, and I went back, and that was the award-winning collection. So then he's like, "You really want to do this? Okay, fine, come. You can do this." Because he saw something that was there. He recognized something about this kid who kept pursuing and not giving up. So I think those were the factors that kind of helped me, and still help me. If there's something that you guys can take from that, I think that would be the most important thing. And the fact that you have to continuously work on improving yourself. That you can never step back and say, okay, I'm so and so, I'm this person, okay, now I can just chill. No, that will never happen. You have to
always stay humble
constantly
to your roots.
Yes, absolutely, and constantly keep pushing yourself. Absolutely,
Definitely.
because otherwise you get complacent, and that's when the whole thing kind of dies off. So that's very
Very
important.
true. Very true, ma'am. Thank you so much. That was really good insight, because you see, when it comes to I would say, being someone from a field of the arts myself, as a literature teacher, you see, when be it literature, be it fashion, be it art itself, people tend to put these things on a lower pedestal. They think, it doesn't require a
Yes.
lot of effort. But your story itself, exactly, it tells us that art requires as much effort as things as tough as math. I would say math or engineering or whatever it may be. Technology. Art is just as hard, is just as, I would say, artistic. And I think your story gives us that value itself. And with a lot of effort, you build this brand of value meanwhile, building yourself as well. And I think that sets the most inspiring pedestal for every young person in this field to follow as well. That brings me to another question, ma'am. Now, when it comes to now you said you persevered ever since you've been a child, and a kid rather, quoting you yourself. Well,
Yeah.
we've all been kids, we've all been there, but we all during those ages have tried rather something, have done something daily, in and out. Doesn't matter what it costs us, we've always done it, and that is why we are who we are today. So what was sort of your daily mantra, your training, or rather your mentality every single day when you wake up? What did a day in the life of Yasisri Kiri Bandara 10 years ago perhaps look like?
10 years ago, it used to be, it always used to start with prayer. It always used to start with asking God to give me direction for the day and give me wisdom and understanding for the day. And so I spend time with the Lord in the morning. That's how my day starts. And then it's planning out what I have to do for the day. Like I have a work schedule. I'm a crazy. I have like 3 planners. I plan on my phone. I have planners. I write things down. It's on my laptop. It's on my phone. So I'm this over organized person sometimes, because I'm scared of losing out on things sometimes. So that can happen. So I write down everything. I tick off whatever I have done, what I have to keep doing. And then I plan out, thinking, okay, from this time to this time, I'm going to work on this, and this, so on and so forth. So yeah, coffee, shower, get dressed, come to work, and then start the day. So In between, I also make sure that I take breaks whenever I feel tired, because when you're doing creative work, you also get really tired. Sometimes your eyes get tired, or when you're continuously looking at something and you're looking at an artwork and you're trying to create an artwork. If you're sketching, it can take a toll on you. So it's very important to also take breaks, but like short breaks, not like 3-hour breaks after. Also, this, I'm not sure whether this is very healthy, but I'm not very orthodox. I mean, yes, I do start my day in the morning, but sometimes if I feel like taking a break, now I can do that because, and yes, even 10 years ago, I could do that. If I want to take a break, I would do that, but then I would cover up for it later on. So that's very important to have that balance, because something that can happen, especially when you're in a creative industry, which is very dangerous, is burnout. And we don't realize that. So I would highly recommend balance is very important. Yeah, so that's like in a nutshell. I'm not a very socializing, going out kind of person. Socializing is very tiring for me. It takes an effort. So I'm very introverted. I'm an introvert who can be extroverted amongst people
I
I
think the
trust.
ambivert is the term you're looking for,
There
ma'am.
you go, ambivert, exactly. So not quite. Okay, if you call it so.
It's a broad range. That's quite all
Yeah, yeah,
right.
right. Ambivert sounds better than introvert, anyways. so,
For sure.
um, so I would choose my friends, and I have like people I trust and people I'm close to, and I would choose to spend time with them. And but my family is my most important, my closest people. So I spend a lot of time with my family. And I spend time relaxing, watching movies after work, things like that. So I try to find balance, because if you're trying to do this for the rest of your life, you need to love what you do. And you can't burn yourself out. Once you've chosen something and you want to do it for the rest of your life, it's very, very important to balance things out. So that's what I could tell. That that's how I live my life, rather.
That's beautiful to hear, ma'am. Especially the part I think where you said we have to be alone and sort of recharge, sometimes refuel. Especially not being a social person, I totally understand that. Me being an ambivert myself, because you see, when you're an artist, I'd say of words, of fashion, of any sort, I believe that that time of being alone is something that is the most important. I see we have another visitor. It seems
Yes,
you're
that's my
not.
cat.
It's nice to meet. What's his good name? Or is it her?
This is Pooch.
Pooch. All right.
Yes, this is
We have
Pooch.
Pooch also, who I think
Pooch was
probably
adopted.
lives.
Pooch was adopted last year, so he was
Oh,
in the
that's
States
nice.
and we adopted him. Yeah.
I think Pooch is one of the rare few to disturb you in your alone times of creativity.
Yes, yes, true.
For sure. Well, it's nice to have Pooch as well. Well, see, that alone time, like you mentioned, ma'am, I think is one of the most important things for an artist, for someone who creates all the time. And while we do instill these personal skills of balance and not enhancing ourselves in a way to not burn out, what are the other skills in the industry itself, if I may ask, that we need to have the qualifications and the technical skills rather
Okay.
that youth would need to go forward in this industry?
In fashion designing specifically, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
So in fashion designing, and you mentioned maths. Actually, mathematics is very important. So yes, I was good in maths, and that makes life a little easier for me, because if you are doing patterns and draping, and to understand how the human body moves and how the human body structure falls, you need to understand shapes, percentages, angles. When you're doing your patterns, you need to understand those factors and how to factor it into your patterns. Or even if somebody else is doing the patterns for you, then you need to kind of have those factors in mind, because otherwise your pattern is not going to fit each person, especially when it comes to couture, because when it's ready to wear, it can kind of follow a certain formula. But if you're looking into specializing, uh, mathematical skills, certain mathematical skills, not everything, you don't need to know formulas and stuff, but certain mathematical skills are very important. I would say you need to have a certain level of communication clear. If you cannot communicate what you are creating, um, that'll be an issue. You need to have some marketing skills. And these are things that were taught to us in college, but things that we kind of had to improve as we went on in life. So a certain amount of marketing skills to market what you're producing, to market what you're creating is very important. And everybody knows that you need to have your sketching skills, you need to know your software, your Photoshop, your Illustrator, you need to know your fabrics, you need to know textile technology, history of art, history of fashion, just a few things that are really required, because without these facts, especially fabrics, I would think that, and color, understanding color. If you do not understand color and color theory and how color theory works, I believe that is going to really sabotage your career from the get-go. So these are some of the elementary things. So if you're looking at higher mathematical studies or planning studies, marketing studies would come in at a later stage in life. So if you're looking at high studies, yes, definitely how to create concepts and to make the concept kind of valid, and not only for your immediate market, but for a market that might not be here immediately. So that, I think, is a very important thing. And luckily for me, I had that experience when I was working for Brandix and so on. So it was given to us whether we liked it or not, and we kind of had to learn either swim or drown kind of thing. So we learned to swim somehow. That was our experience. But if you're looking at higher studies, you need to look at these factors. It's very important.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think that's a lot of skills where every single aspiring fashion designer and already an individual, those who are already fashion designers, can get from those insights that you gave. That brings me to another question, ma'am. Actually, now, despite, let's say there is an individual who has perhaps gained all the skills or most of the skills that you mentioned. So in the case that this person thinks, okay, I gained all of these skills, but why should I keep upgrading my skill set? If someone thinks that, because if what happens if someone becomes stagnant and it does not upgrade the skills, what happens then, and why should they keep upgrading their skills, especially in an industry like this, in the fashion industry?
Okay. Well, I think it's very important because the market is very, very saturated at the moment. And the market is very, actually oversaturated. I would think that the Sri Lankan fashion student industry is oversaturated compared to the requirement out there. And it's one of those factors, one of those areas of study that seems to be trending for the last couple of years. And so everybody, I hear, they want to study fashion designing. So they would go and get like the basic education, and then like not enough to kind of take them to the next level or even land a basic job. So you definitely need to upgrade yourself if you want to be marketable, if you want to land that job that you've been dreaming of, or if you want to start that business and you want to be an entrepreneur. Definitely, because I think it's very important, because if you do not have the experience, then you need the education behind it. But having said that, I think experience is important too, because there are certain things that education can give that experience cannot, and vice versa, right? So definitely level up, because leveling up means you become more aspirational, and you can charge more, you can earn more, you can climb the ladder, you can be successful. Yes, so all those factors.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think experience in itself would be one of the core values of what you just said. While learning to adapt, you learn to experience life and the industry through years of changes of yourself and the brand you build as well, despite the industry. So I think that does, in fact, cost for a lot, as you said, in pricing and in developing yourself as a whole. And that brings me to another question, which asks, which rather be with our partner. IIT, who recently launched Sri Lanka's first fashion business management masters. So, in the context of a country like Sri Lanka and other countries itself, who don't really have a lot of educational qualifications, rather, in terms of the fashion industry, IIT launched this. But in the case of countries in general, or rather in terms of management, masters in fashion business in general. Do you think these programs and the inclusion of these programs in educational syllabuses, like you said, will they influence the market? And how do you see them influencing individuals and the market itself? Is it a good influence, a bad influence? If good, how is it good?
Okay, education at large cannot be a bad influence. Education at large uh, is a good influence for sure because we need to educate our youth. But I actually don't have enough data to actually compare and say which like masters has kind of given certain students a footing or certain students a backing. All I could say is that if it helps you and you feel you need it, that it will help you level up, then go for it. Because if I am to answer that question and from a holistic point of view, then I would require certain data, which I'm not, I do not have access to. Um, so I'm unable to answer that question directly, unfortunately. But what I can say is that if it does help somebody and they education at any point cannot be bad because it will help you go to the next level. So it's up to you where you want to position yourself and how fast you want to go and how ready you feel you are to gain, because education is again a commitment. Are you ready to commit yourself to that level of education? So consider all those factors. And I believe IIT is like a good institute. So I believe that what they would offer would be something that would require a certain amount of research and a certain amount of background check. So there should be the syllabus they offer must be of good standing. But again, it's up to each individual to see what helps them and what supports them. But education at large would be positive rather than negative, of course.
Always. And I think it's not just definitely in terms of, even though it may be a master's, I'm sure that all the practical aspects of that will be necessary will be included in these I would say courses and the degrees as well. Well, thank you so much, Mary, for understanding and for your input there. And finally, coming to my last few questions, whatever
Mhm.
happens in the industry or in whichever industry, I would say what we leave behind is one of the most important things, especially to the youth. And that is what this platform is all about. It's all about youth. And that being said, what do we leave behind for these young enthusiasts? What do we leave behind for the young aspiring fashion designers? What is your advice to these youngsters who may be watching us right now, maybe watching the recorded version rather? What would your words
What
be
do
to
you
them?
leave behind as in? What do you mean, Sam?
What do you leave behind as in your words? In
Right,
the sense.
okay. Okay. Like a word of advice.
Yes.
Okay, what I would say is if you believe you are good at it, go for it. Work hard, study hard, build yourself up. And don't take no for an answer, and don't think that something I really wanted to say was don't think that just by staying in college for 2 years or 3 years that you've made it. No, it takes a lot more. So if you are ready to take, especially in this industry, or maybe any other industry as well, but in this particular industry, um, you need to really apply yourself and work hard to get there. And once you do, even if you do win an award or two, or even if you do gain certain experience, I believe your journey is still on the way. Now, even though you spoke highly of me, where I'm concerned, I'm still on my way. I still haven't gone to my mark because that's how life is. Life is always a journey. So I would think that somebody should always keep that in mind because then you constantly keep creating, constantly keep doing things new, look at new perspectives, understand new markets, learn to create your product in a different aspect, and then give something different that the world can appreciate. Because at the end of the day, fashion is meant to be enjoyed. Fashion is meant to bring happiness and joy to a person. So I think that is something that a lot of people also forget. The fact that why you started this. So always keep remembering why you would start this and what is the core factor. Is it only to earn money or anything, or is it because you love it? Because it means something more to you. And always keep those core values with you, no matter how high you go. Because that's what will keep you going at the end of the day, no matter what. So that's something I just wanted to tell everyone.
That was very well said, ma'am. Thank you so much. Staying true to your roots, true to your basic skills, and making sure you don't stray away by getting too comfortable. I think that is something we should all, especially I'd say in the creative field, we must all ingrain in ourselves. And very well said, ma'am. Thank you so much. I believe something we all, despite whichever industry, must take into heart. And that brings me to one final question. What do you see for the future of fashion for the next couple of years? And if we are someone based in Sri Lanka, how do you suggest we compete in this global market in the future?
I see that fashion is becoming extremely digitized with NFTs. I want to talk about that. I can see a lot of large fashion houses around the world. They're actually creating NFTs and getting into the NFT market. So I think this is really going to be the future. And for a designer living in Sri Lanka, get a feel out there, travel, make connections, join a women's chamber of commerce, join the chamber of commerce, join, I don't know, whatever that you feel, a certain body with fashion maybe that will support you. Travel, go and see certain shows, connect with people overseas, make connections. I think that is the best way to kind of be a global designer, a local designer with a global feel. It is the connections you make, because you never know. And right now, I think this is like the best time. Although you cannot travel, the world has become so, it's become even smaller, I think, with everything going online with COVID. So it's a lot easier because there are so many companies out there that's looking for talented designers or talented brands or good brands, and they do connect. If you have the right presence, and online is the way, it's not brick and mortar anymore. Brick and mortar, yes, I would not discourage someone from having brick and mortar, but brick and mortar is kind of limiting in terms of globalization. So look at online, look at going into either apps or a good website or websites, look at your online presence, look at the people you are connecting with. If you do get the opportunity, travel as much as possible. And that might help you a lot. Because at the end of the day, it's one-on-one, and one-on-one always works better than being from afar. So I would really suggest travel and get that experience. And wait for the right opportunity, not to rush. I want to tell that to all the young aspiring designers out there, because sometimes we all get so excited and we think like, oh, you know, every opportunity is ours. But no, wait for the right opportunity, because once you do, that right opportunity will kind of propel you beyond your expectations. So faith and patience is also very, very important, I would say.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I think faith in the future and faith in ourselves while being patient with the future and also being patient with ourselves will take us forward in this industry and in every part of our lives. It was very insightful to have you on board, ma'am, and a truly creative individual who has contributed not only to the industry but definitely to the people around you with such great values within yourself as well. And Pooch says hi as well for the last few bits. Thank you so much, Pooch. All right, I think he came in just at the right moment because we are about to wrap up. And thank you so much. And it was my honor to have moderated you this evening. Any last words before we wrap up?
Nothing really, and it was very enjoyable. And as usual, I always cannot say no to Chokolaate and Michelle and the team, and especially Christina this time. Thank you very much. And thank you, Sando. Thank you for having me. It was awesome.
It was our pleasure, ma'am. And that being said, ladies and gentlemen, anyone watching us, the young youth rather, watching us with interest in this fashion designing industry, NFTs, opportunities everywhere. And despite these opportunities being everywhere, her final key message to all of us was don't rush. Let your patience propel you into the future. Like she said, make sure you be patient with yourself as you go forward. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Miss Yasi Suripkiri Bandara. Thank you so much, man, for being here with us. And that's a wrap with this week's edition of the Future of Fashion Business in partnership with IIT, organized by the #1 place for the youth of Sri Lanka, Chokolaate. It's all about youth. A very good evening. This is Sandro Sapin signing off. Have a beautiful night.